Hello everybody, Krydax here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3. Picking up right where we left off, working on making sure our new and improved animal slaughter housing is working properly. I think it is. I think these are all fine to go on the same side of the belt. Remember, because of stack size of 3, these are actually a potential of 22.5 items a second, which is more than the entire yellow belt was before. And with these split up, we've got guts opposite meat, which often tend to be the higher counts. Brains are usually low count. So I think we should be fine on all the rates there. And after adding in this, I also added in a double loader for train loading to be even faster if it needs to be. And this is ditching all the excess meat and other things. We're not ditching excess lard until it gets close to decaying. I hope that's okay. I doubt we're ever going to get 400 stacks of lard. It'd almost be a nice thing if we had that much lard. What does lard actually make? It's used to make oleochemicals, which is a whole thing. We need some for workers' food and for fish food and for a few other foods. Actually, no. Those aren't foods. We need some for etching solution. We need those for red circuits. So that'll be soon. Anyway, in this episode, I'm not really sure exactly where we're going because we've got all of the stuff done, I think, for up marking flora and fauna. I got the fish alarm set up, so that'll run as soon as we have fish food going, and fish food will be going as soon as we have a need for fish, I believe is the current hang up. Yeah. So as soon as fish start getting rendered up here, which actually, look at that, just started. So now we're rendering fish, and we're gonna waste, I'm sure, all sorts of fish oil. Can we do anything fancy with fish oil? Not really, just make lubricant. Can we do anything with lubricant? No, it's just a final ingredient for things. Makes sense. All right, well, there's nothing really to be done there. We'll just let that happen. Research is also done. What do we work towards? We could look at arcads. We could look at Xiapho. I could research Grodd. I don't really know where we're going right now. It's a slow burn towards red circuits, whatever it is we're doing. Nylon, Kevlar, aramid, stainless. Like, we could work towards that. Fertilizer stage 3 allows the fish stuff. Boop, boop, boop. Energy generation 2. What is this? Allows us to make biocrud from fluorospelenin. Now that's interesting. A lot of gasoline though. But that makes biocrud fairly cheap. How did I miss this recipe when we were looking earlier at biocrud options? Bulk recipes for fast inserters. Is there anything we really need, or is this just kind of like random progression at this point? Like, I really want modules, but those are a long way away. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Oh, let's do the Fawoji turd. Because I don't really have specific needs right now. I think this is a good turd to work on for the next 5 hours. because then we can work on infinite sulfuric. And so yeah, while that's going, we'll work on phosphoric and Vrauk production. Keep muddy sludge from borax. What's that about? Oh, this. Is there like a train station nearby that I could just plug that into? I mean, there's train stuff right here. Because of its location, I'm actually considering a fluid super trasher. And then we could throw in the muddy sludge and then other things later. Let's do that. Oh, this is missing one. That's why. That's what's going on with that. That explains everything. Alright. And there goes there. Okay, so that'll be for muddy sludge. Let's see which is going to go this way. Down and into number 1. So yeah, what we need to do is go to our... This is the current thing, and we're missing this one for some reason. Boop. There we go. And then that needs to get switched to the new blueprint. Okay. So that's fixed. All right. That's, I think, test surface problems. Fishies are being rendered, so hopefully... Yep, these are all fired up again. Fish eggs are running again. And then those should start netting some fish food again once they're all running. And the benefit to these all running, by the way, is that we get some wastewater. We get some free urea out of the deal. Why did I set up this much wastewater consumption? 533 a second. Even if all of this was running at the same time forever, we would get... Wait, what? 50 wastewater a second. That's it. So I don't know why I set that many up. I was not paying attention to the numbers, I think, is what happened there. Okay, so phosphoric processing. So let's start to look into that. So phosphoric acid is kind of a mess, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we get phosphine gas, which can be rerouted into phosphoric acid, but we need both for things, or something like that. Let's see, phosphoric acid is used in a variety of places, so we'll need to provide that on trains. And then the phosphine gas is also used in a variety of places, so we need to provide that on trains. But then if we have extra phosphine gas, that can be channeled into phosphoric acid, but not the other way around. So if we're short on phosphine gas, we actually would need to void phosphoric acid, which we would just, you know, throw in the trash because there's not really a thing we can produce with just phosphoric acid. And we need phosphorus acid, which is also used in various things. So we're going to need to provide all 3 of those on trains. And that is syngas, ash, pure sand, and powdered phosphate rock, which is phosphate rock, which comes directly from the phosphate mine, which uses drill heads on top of a big ancient remain. And we've already researched it. So I think we're pretty much ready to design this whole thing. So let's see. Phosphate rock. Wait, what? Are there 2 types of ancient remains? I'm confused by that. Let's see. What's going on here? Ancient. Yeah, I'm only seeing phosphate rocks. And they're all over the place. There's one right here, even. Wait, we need syngas as well? Wait, is there phosphate mine and big phosphate mine? Oh, I'm confused now. Oh, big phosphate mine is something else. Oh, that's something very different. Wait. Oh, big ancient remains. There are 2 types. Okay. Interesting. I had never noticed that. I don't know if that's new or just something I hadn't seen before. Either way, are there any blocks with 2 phosphate rocks in them? Because that could be kind of nice. Doesn't look like it. There's 2 there, but that's far away from trains. Okay, so anyway, 1 phosphate. We don't want big phosphate mine. We want little phosphate mine. There we go. Okay, so this is a bit higher than we'll be able to make. I think I want to plan for two mines worth. So that's going to be 20, 40 syngas to start with. Nah, we'll do 4 mines worth. That way we can expand it over time. I'm tired of building small. Okay, now hydrofluoric acid is a freebie byproduct here. So we're gonna provide the phosphorus acid, and then we need some DDCs, plus a crap ton of wood. And then that phosphine gas gets provided, but then we'll also set up the high pressure furnaces if we just need phosphoric acid. So then we're providing those 3. I guess 4. We're providing 4 fluids and then hydrofluoric acid. Hydrofluoric acid, which we get a way to create specifically in KimSci, and it's used in fluorine gas only, and uranium hexafluoride. And then that gives us fluorine gas is a way to make olefins. Interesting. It's gotta be not a great way to make olefins. By the time you've unlocked it, there's gotta be better ways. This one honestly looks like a great way to make olefins right here. I mean, it's 800 tailings to 200 olefins, but we also get tons of crude. And the aromatics, ignore that. Aromatics are free. Remember, there's so many ways to make aromatics. Best way that I have currently being, which one was it? I mean, light oil, obviously, just turning into aromatics is pretty great. But yeah, we just get aromatics for free from tailings in the first place. Also randomly from this. There's just so many ways to get. Anyway, back to this. Let's go ahead and get this started. So, pin. Where do we want to set this up? So let's start with this guy. We need the drill heads. Should we request them here? I don't know if I want 20 stacks of drill heads, so I'm gonna need a station controller. Yeah, probably. Okay, so let's set up a request for the drill heads. We're also going to need syngas, but I think we can piggyback on one of these other ones. So there's a request for the drill heads, and then there's a provider. I'm going to do a multi-provider, because who knows what else we're going to have in this block later. It's going to be phosphate, rock. Now, I could crush on site, but I don't like to do that. Some of you guys do. It would make trains more efficient, because we'd be shipping half as much. Stack size, it's 4 times denser. But then you have to deal with trashing the rock at every place you're mining phosphate. Is that what I want to do? That's actually... I forgot about the double stack size. I was thinking it was 2 times denser. 4 times denser is a lot denser. I think given phosphate's never going to be mined in that huge of quantities, I'm going to be fine. I'm just not going to worry about it. And that way we'll do it all in one place. So then we've got our phosphate mine, which we need to add into our automall. We should have a spot for all the mines. Phosphate mine. One of those. And then... so that'll request drills. We will request syngas here. I don't know, 40,000. I don't know how much we need. And then that will go over and up to there. So it's got its fuel, it consumes drill heads and syngas. Drill heads are gonna be here. Drill heads per second per mine is gonna be 1/4 of that. So 2 per minute is it. It stacks to 100. So we get 50 minutes from 1 stack. So we're talking like, we'll do 4 stacks of drill heads. That even feels like maybe too much. But, you know, why not do a train every 4 hours instead of a train every 1 hour? I don't know. Drill head for phosphate. 4 stacks. Those come over here. Let's just do that. And then a loader out. Boom. This is going to be a multi-provider, so we'll just start with it this size. But what I'm gonna do is put those there as a reminder to not put rails there, because I might end up wanting to provide other things in this. And then because, well, this one's never gonna be that high traffic because it's only one mine. So I guess that's important to remember. Whatever's receiving the phosphate will be higher traffic because it's receiving from multiple phosphate mines. But yeah, this is going to be phosphate rock provide. I think that's all we need to do. I might have missed something, but a stack size of 50. We're going to end up with how many stacks? 144. So we're going to do probably 100 stacks total. And then we can merge these. Perfect. That should do it. Just need that final inserter, and I think we're phosphating. Oh, right. We can just output. Like that. We don't need a loader. Where's that mechanical inserter coming from? Jeez, forever away is where it's coming from. Okay, where do we want to build phosphorus processing? This block is pretty open. Got a giant raw coal patch in here. Yeah, let's do this block, I think. What was this? Steam production? No, coal dust venting. What am I doing? Oh man, what is happening here? Oh, I'm providing steam and cold steam, but I'm kind of confused. What's going on here? So that fills up this one first. But I guess at some point we had overflowed. That must have been a while ago, because we're clearly using up all this steam now. And this should be at a really high priority, which it is. Might even put that at 12. I feel like this is a higher priority than even byproduct steam. I guess it just is byproduct steam, so never mind. Anyway, let's add stations. If I care about this raw coal patch, it is pretty huge, but there's another one down there. And I mean, this one is kind of infinite by itself, not to mention that one and that one. So this one does not feel necessary to my base. It is kind of nice to have though, so I think I'm just going to build on top of it. I don't know, it adds some visual, what do you call it? Some, you know, it breaks up the look visually. Or I could just put it here. Yeah, I'll just do that. We want strong side though. Okay, so that's that. I've got a requester set up by default. A solids provider, which is not what we want. We're gonna want a trash provider for stone. And that should be the only solid that we get out of this. So we can just do the simple strong side trash extension for stone. And then make sure this doesn't extend past. So hard to delete just those pieces. All right. And then the requester is going to be requesting the phosphate rocks Hey, we got a fish mark 2 already. Still haven't gotten a Phywoji. What's our Phywoji at? Oh my god. 280 times 3, but we're getting close to 900 with no successes. That is absolutely disgusting. That's disgusting. Wow. I mean, at this point, we expect to have seen 4 Phywoji Mark II already. And how many have we seen? 0. That is crazy. To be fair, if you think about the chance of getting a success, it's just so astronomically small. I think 1 in 200 is hard for even our human brains to understand. Like, imagine rolling a d20 and you gotta get a natural 20. Okay, that happens sometimes. Now, after that, you have to roll a d6 and you have to get a 6. And then after that, you have to flip a coin and you have to get a heads. And only if you do all of that in a row did you succeed. I know that's not exactly 1 in 200. I think it's 1 in 240, but it's close to the same idea. Anyway. All right, let's get this set up. We don't want these trees here. So decon on all you. Yeah, we'll just go like here. 10 and 12. I think that's 12. Nope, that's 13. Okay. 12 phosphate. The rate is 2 a second, so I'll just do 2 inserters a piece. And then output also 2 a second, so total is going to be more than 1 belt though, so we're going to need stacking or 2 belts. I think I'm just going to do 2 belts. I don't really know why. Stacking's not that hard, but I don't like the idea that I'm spending a few megawatts to do nothing forever. But it's only a few megawatts. I don't know. Maybe I should be more willing to spend. Yeah, we'll do the same thing here. Output. And then at the end, we'll sort out stone. Oh, I should probably select the stone symbol, shouldn't I? Okay. And then why don't I give some space for these? Okay. And that's the trash stone. And then we're gonna need some extra RoboPort action. Let's start here. Or maybe here. Okay. So then that is what we need to copy 6 times. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So then 1, 2, 3 sets, then we'll go here. And then 1, 2, 3 sets, and then we deconstruct this. And then that deletes, and then that goes over. Okay, and then turn off Split filters. Phosphate rock. Merge. Quest. Phosphate rock. Let's do 100 stacks. Seems like a fine plan. Unload a little faster. Phosphate rock request. This is stone from phosphate. Phosphoric. Trash provide. Mergify that. Shouldn't have to do anything else. And I think we're all good with step 1 here. Perfect. So then from there we've got 11.2 powdered phosphate rock, and we need pure sand and ash here. Why don't we actually let's see. Wow, we need 4 times as much pure sand as we need phosphate rock. So maybe not 100 stacks. Maybe like, well, no, it might actually be that many that we need. I'll call it more like 80 stacks for now, and then we need pure sand. 80 stacks. And then we need ash. And we'll just do like 25 stacks, because it stacks to 1,000, so. Which does mean we're gonna need, you got it, full unload complement to unload ash at the proper rate. And is that gonna be enough? We're gonna have 200 something. Yeah, 185 stacks. Oh, and we also need wood. 225. Yeah, I'll go one more. So then I can bump these up a bit. 45, 28. All right. And that'll get us going on. We'll do a belt for ash. And then we'll do actually some stack inserters for pure sand. I think 3 belts of pure sand feels a bit intense. 3 belts or 4 stack inserters. I don't know, 4 stack inserters is a lot. That's 3 megawatts I never get back. Would I rather just use 3 belts? What do you guys think? What do we think? We're talking half of a tidal power plant or 3 belts? I don't know how to measure, you know, like the difference between those. Half of a tidal power plant or 3 belts? Which one is better or worse? How do I evaluate that? I don't even know. Speaking of tidal power plants, why don't we... a couple more here. You know, let's just do stacking. I think the cost of stack inserters will get lower over time, and this feels like a clear place to use them. Okay, so we want this. Train is stuck? Is it oh, it is, actually. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna leave it because it is gonna use up the syngas eventually. Not very fast though. 20 a second. So how long is that? 50 seconds, 1,000. So that's only 9 minutes ish. Okay, that should be fine. Anyway, back to here. 4 of these should be correct. We need like exactly a... That's so annoying. So we actually need each of these to have... let's see, wait. It's gonna be on the right side, so these need to be on the left side, like that. Okay. And then this is on the right side, so I can side load like that. And then this is on the left side, so I can side load like that. And then that is on the right side, and this is on the left side, so I can side load like that. The reason I'm doing it this way is because you guys mostly know this, just like if I were to put a sideways belt, then the stacks that this one drops are getting in the way of this one dropping stacks, and that reduces its ability to go at full rate, which then can keep it from actually getting the rate that it needs. Because we need to be very close to the maximum here. Alright, I don't actually know where these belts need to be, so I'm just gonna leave them there. Okay, so that's all there. Look at this, we're already like halfway done, and we're at 36 minutes in the episode, so I think we're gonna be able to like finish this build. That's a crazy thought. Okay, so we need 12. I'm gonna leave some space here. And there, so 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so input-wise, we've got ash, sand, and pure sand. Pure sand is 4 a second. So we've got that going on. Then we've got this, and then we've got this. Sure. I could also use loaders for pure sand. Loader versus 2 inserters, I feel like 2 inserters wins. It's loader versus 3+ inserters that starts to make me feel like it might be worth it to leave it alone. Okay, that's down to 5,000. Now, the phosphate... Okay, so the sand is this one. Ash is this one. Sand needs to be this belt. So sand here. Ash there, phosphate there. And then output is just phosphorus acid. That's it. That's all there is to it. Okay, good to go. Shoot, I forgot to filter these. I don't know how I forgot to filter them. That was like the whole point. But I did. Oh, and the wood. Wait. I forgot about the wood too. The wood is 28. I will just do 2 belts. Again, I have no idea where we'll be able to fit in curved rails. I'm sure we will, I just don't know exactly where. Okay, so then this guy needs some lamps. What happened here? I don't really know, but we need to deconstruct all of it. It doesn't actually matter. And then what's going on here? Oh, we just haven't gotten another shipment. Okay. Picked up power there. Alright, so this should be basically what we just copy there. So now that's 4, and we need 12. You know, I maybe should have done direct insert. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Because these are even the same size buildings, I think. Is why that might be reasonable to try. And then, yeah, why don't we chuck that guy there? Okay, and then the final pipe, we want to be one that doesn't go too far. Okay, now I do need a F requester here. Yeah, I think we want it here. That leaves me even one more tile to play with if we need it. So, I think I'm happy with that. That's gonna be syngas. We're gonna do the full Monty, 75,000. And then here, we can just go to there. Wait, is that one gonna fit? Yeah, that should fit. All right. Okay, that's done. Then we're gonna need a provider station. Provider. I'm gonna need 2 of them. Here's what's interesting. I only have 4 fluids here. And hydrofluoric is a byproduct. Heck, it's kind of a main product too, though. Interesting. For now, I'll just do 2 regular F providers and I'll just void excess. Maybe that's a bad play. I don't know. Phosphoric acid is the main one. Phosphine gas is secondary, and then phosphorus acid is the third. And then you will provide hydrofluoric acid. Okay, and then we need to make sure we're connected across, make sure we've got, whatchamacallit, robo coverage. And getting there. I'll probably do 7 groups of 2 for this. It's all fluids except the wood. Okay, so I can just leave like 2 spaces here. And then what way do we want to turn this bad boy? So if I want the wood to go along the middle, let's see if we can... Let's see, so we've got the acid. Yeah, why don't we move this? There's 2 spaces. We can do steam on the outside. Or maybe we'll do the phosphine on the outside. I'm not really sure. There's a lot of ways to do this. I am going to need more space, though, for all the connections, so we'll go like that. So we'll do that. And then we've got inline 2 ways for those 2, and then I have this one. So I guess after all, we do not need an extra space, because we've already got steam and phosphine covered. And then we have wood coming in there. And then we've got power poles. Then we copy all that, flip it horizontally, build another one there. And that's pretty much it. Okay. And we need 14, so 7 more of these. Well, 6 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, that's only 12. Alright, and yes, I do see what happened here. Don't you worry. Lamp. Lamp. Okay. Definitely a little bit messy. I don't know what's taking so long on those deconstructions. What are all my bots doing? Wait, what's happening? Wait, like legitimately, what is happening? Why are there so many carrying? Oh, they're having to deconstruct an underground, which has the whole capacity of what was on it. As in, like, 45 items. Wow, that really... When stacked undergrounds have hundreds of items, is the problem. I might go over there myself. So this is a mess. And then the final step will just be 3 high-pressure furnaces that can convert phosphine, only if we have overflow of phosphine. But we also need to be able to destroy phosphoric if we have too much phosphoric and not enough phosphine. So we want big buffers for these so we're not wasting stuff over time. But yeah, I'm just gonna help out here. Okay. So the belts are at least correct to start. There's wrong items on the ends of them, though, which I need to go fix. Let me hoover up whatever's on these guys. Bunch of ash on the wrong belt. This one's supposed to be pure sand only. Okay. Got it. And let me get rid of everything in my inventory. There we go. And then we just hook up the syngas. Right here. So right there. And there we go. Phosphorus acid. We're also going to need to request steam. There's like a lot of steam here. I don't think I quite realized how much steam. I might need a second steam requester. But we'll start with just the one. Hook it up. Don't forget about that. Alright, and then steam. Okay, let's get all this, like, connected across the two. There's phosphine connection. Okay, there is only 5 fluids to worry about, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. I also made a mistake with inserters. Just fix it manually real quick. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Okay. So that's good. And then steam. Let's see. Steam's here. Of course, that doesn't quite line up with anything exactly. So we'll just go to this one. There's steam connected. And everything else is outputs. So the other thing is like... the phosphorus acid needs to be provided. So that initially... Okay, which one has the phosphorus acid? It's... Hold on, let me get... this plugged in. Okay, so that's going to need wires. All those, and then this one. Yeah, this one is phosphorus acid. Okay, so then what we want to do is we want to first utilize the phosphorus acid, which is the droplet, which is this one. But then we want to overflow this is getting ugly. I'm just gonna do a junction for that. Put that there. All right. Okay, so we're overflowing phosphorus acid into that one. But first we're processing it, because that's going to be the more common usage. Now, steam hasn't arrived because I don't have a filter here. Actually, it still hasn't arrived. Do I just not have enough steam? Ooh. Okay. That's next episode. We need a big steam plant. Maybe just from raw coal, if our ash is low, or maybe electricity. If not, I'm not really sure. Should I just always be making steam on site with electricity, right? Rather than moving it with trains? That's the other option. Right, like, I could just throw 5 pump jacks and 5 electric boilers and call it a day, but that's so much power, and I feel like I really want to utilize byproduct steam around the base. So I don't know if I want to just spend 100 megawatts like that, because then if we had all kinds of byproduct steam on trains available, we wouldn't be utilizing any of it. So there's part of me that just doesn't like that option. Anyway, that's that. And then, so now the outputs. So the phosphoric acid is this one. Which attaches right here. And then phosphine gas is going to be this one, which can attach right here. And then finally, hydrofluoric is this one, which will go over and attach to the one on the left. All right, I believe that's all correct. And then maybe in the next episode, we'll get all the circuit conditions set up to overflow and void things. For now, though, we're producing once we have steam. Sweet. Well, as always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one.